Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a crash on an eastern Kentucky highway leaves one person dead and leads to an investigation. And a man is charged with murder after 3 people are found dead in a city here in our region.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Chas Gayhart. It is 5:34 on Tuesday, September 13th. Let's go back over and check in with Brandon.
Well, the forecast this morning continues to stay on the cool side, but that is the main story today. There is some fog out there. Be careful of that. But those jackets will be your friend as you head out the door this morning. Let's take a look at Jenkins Mountain there, US 119, US 23, and everything looking pretty good. Not a whole lot of traffic up that way this morning as we hit 5:30. We're looking at temperatures in the 40s and 50s out there. Yes, you heard that right. The 40s and 50s across the region, from 46 in Wise to 57 in Moorhead. There's a lot of low to mid 50s, and look at those dew points out there. 44 Irvin, 44 Clintwood, 48 in Jonesville, 46 in Wise, and everybody below the, well, basically below the 55-degree mark this morning. So that's very pleasant and a little bit chilly too. So again, bundle up. Sunshine will be up soon. It's going to take our temperatures up in the mid-70s today. It's going to be a nice day out there. Enjoy it because we have another chilly night ahead of us coming into play this evening. Chas?
Thanks, Brandon. Well, a 2-car crash took place in Floyd County Monday morning, killing one of the drivers involved. WYMT's Alyssa Williams has more details from those who were on the scene.
It was after 6 a.m. on Monday morning that emergency personnel assessed the scene of a fatal crash at the entryway of Henry's Branch in the Langley community of Floyd County.
And we responded. We pronounced the deceased at 7:30.
Those with the Floyd County Coroner's Office identified the victim as 74-year-old Sock Sue Snyder of Langley.
She was actually from this same holler here, Henry's Branch.
Kentucky State Police say Snyder was attempting to turn onto Kentucky Route 80 when her car was struck by another driver, 23-year-old Kyla Cox of Martin.
She was on her way to Floyd Central High School. She was a food service worker at Floyd Central High School.
Floyd County Deputy Coroner Chuck Hall says Snyder was a beloved member of the community.
She was a very well-liked person. She was well respected.
Although the cause of the crash has not been determined, Hall still advises everyone to drive cautiously in congested areas.
Very few probably maintain the speed limit in this area, and it is getting to be a more congested area because of the 2 churches. You got Graceway Church right up, and then you got the First Baptist Church here, and it's a very congested area.
In Floyd County, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Kentucky State Police say officials are still working to determine the exact cause of the crash. Well, a body found in Lee County has now been identified. We first told you about this last week. Officials with Kentucky State Police say the body of 52-year-old Tamika McDaniel from Beattyville was found inside a burned building on Kentucky 52 West. Her body was found back on September 7th. Right now, her cause of death has not been released, and KSP is investigating. Anyone with information is asked to call State Police Post 7 using the number on your screen. The names of 3 people killed in Painesville on Friday have been released. 56-year-old Paula Wells, 56-year-old Richard Mormon, and 36-year-old Myrtle Pack were killed during the shooting on Depot Road. 21-year-old Ronnie Pack was arrested and taken to the Pike County Detention Center. He is facing several charges, including 3 counts of murder. Police have arrested the man they believe may be responsible for a shooting in Breathitt County. The shooting happened last month. Officers say an early morning fire alarm turned into a crime scene after firefighters found a man had been shot. On August 25th, Jackson police got an arrest warrant on Roy Fugit, and he was arrested on Saturday. Fugit was taken to the Kentucky River Regional Detention Center in Hazard. Jail staff told us Fugit is facing numerous charges, including burglary, wanton endangerment, and assault. 4 Kentucky State Police Post 10 troopers were honored during the sworn awards ceremony yesterday. Trooper Jonathan Ledford was named 2021 Post 10 Trooper of the Year. Detective Jacob Middleton was named 2021 Post 10 Detective of the Year. Trooper Brandon Burton and Detective Rodney Sturgill Both received the KSP Life Saving Medal. The Achievement Awards were presented for acts of bravery and service in 2021. A Williamsburg business is growing. Governor Andy Beshear announced the expansion of Renfro Supply Company, one of the region's largest wholesalers. The expansion is expected to bring 25 new jobs to the area. The company will be building a 51,000 square foot facility on 6 acres of land. The investment is nearly $8.5 million. Business leaders from across the region and state officials gathered at the Southeast Kentucky Chamber of Commerce meeting yesterday. Kentucky Commissioner of Agriculture Ryan Quarles was a guest speaker at the Chamber of Commerce meeting, sharing the importance of supporting local farmers and the products they sell.
So our #1 message is that if possible, support local. Our Kentucky Proud program and Appalachia Proud program do just that. And so we want to remind folks, whether they grew up on a farm or not, that agriculture matters. And it's also an area where we need more Kentuckians to choose agriculture as a career.
During the meeting, he said many eastern Kentucky farmers have been impacted by the flooding we saw in July, which has affected Kentucky agriculture as a whole. If your farm was impacted by flooding, you can contact Commissioner Quarles' office. Many flood survivors in our region have relocated since the water and mud destroyed their homes. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox talked with survivors staying at Mine-Made Adventure Park in Knott County while they look for permanent solutions.
It's rocky here. I can still do it.
Campers are lined up and down Mine-Made Adventure Park, housing flood survivors who have lost their homes. The terrifying memories continue playing in their minds as they recover.
We was like, well, our vehicles are up here, so we noticed the water was coming in fast. So we had to go out to our vehicles and sit. And so we sat out there. Well, by the next morning, our whole house was covered.
Some even were trapped in their house as water and mud rushed through.
It was bouncing. And then, you know, the living room carpet just started getting wet. Just started feeling, you know, every time you'd step on it, it was squishy. And I thought, oh, geez. And we couldn't get out.
The campers were not immediately available, leaving flood survivors to get creative. Melinda and her husband lived in a car for 2 weeks. Then someone donated a tent that they strapped on top of their trampoline.
That was at the house. It was the kids' trampoline that was in the yard. He didn't wash away. I don't know how it didn't wash away, but it didn't. But he braced it up and put it on top of there because I can't sleep on the ground.
Jada and her family could not find safe ground, so they had to be rescued.
There was a huge mudslide that was like coming off the mountain, and there was me and my whole family and my 11-month-old, and I had him in one of those little baby carrier things, and we was up to here, up to his back in mud, and so it was truly terrifying.
Now at Mine-Made Adventure Park, the nature gives them a little bit of peace in stressful times.
I mean, it's peaceful, it's quiet, it's not bad at all. Everybody's really nice up here and respectful. We've not had any issues at all.
The goal is restarting their lives with temporary comfort. In Knott County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Both flood survivors also said they still need as much help as possible since they lost everything. Just ahead this morning, a country music star from Kentucky is on the road to recovery after a scary situation on the way to a concert. We'll have details in just a few minutes.
Rain chances, we ain't got no time for those. I have our bright and sunny forecast, which could turn a little warmer by the weekend in about 3 minutes.